You're at home, there's an emergency. What do? Get out, bug in, bug out, or do nout? If you want to find out what do nout means, stay tuned.
For whatever reason, the government now is issuing advice on tackling emergencies. There's a web page that offers advice what to do for various emergencies, how you can prepare yourself, your family, and your home. As with all these things, somebody's going to make money out of this. So if you go online, you can see a whole host of 72-hour emergency kits, ranging from fairly expensive to very expensive to eye-wateringly expensive.
Fire or flood, it doesn't matter. You've got to get out. You've got to get out now. You haven't got time to collect your belongings. Or have you? The most important things that you need to keep a hold of are your documents. You have not got time to collect them on your way out, but what you can do is prepare. Scan them beforehand, load them onto a flash stick. If you're worried about EMP, wrap the flash stick in foil, put it in a plastic bag, keep it in a tin can, and take it to a secure location looked after by a trustworthy person. If you haven't got a trustworthy person, find a secure location. But remember, password protect your information. You may be evacuated, in other words, made to leave your home, but with some time to prepare. You'll move to somewhere else. The facilities may be good, or they may be not, so you need to do some preparation beforehand. The first thing to do is to get something together to carry your gear, and in most situations involving civilians, a wheeled case might be the best option. Let's hope you're not going out of the frying pan into the fire. You're going from your home to a place with lots of other people who you may or may not know, may or may not have anything in common with. Mark your property with contact details, not home addresses, so no one can find it. Read the address, go to your home and rob it. Your first priority is to maintain your hygienic standards. At the very least, you need a toothbrush and toothpaste, a comb and some liquid soap. The liquid soap you can use for washing your hands, showering, or even washing your clothes if you're out for longer than expected. Toilets may be poor, so take your own toilet paper and wipes. A handy little addition is a hotel sewing kit. It's small, but it will help you repair your clothes. And don't forget to take your towel. Under these circumstances, probably a microfiber towel is best because it dries so much quicker than a cotton one. Assuming you're away from home for 3 days, take 3 sets of underwear. You've got 1 set on, 2 sets for the coming 2 days, and a spare. You may wish to Ranger roll them. This makes them easy to identify and also helps to keep them separate from other items. If you're going to be out for only 3 days, 1 shirt is sufficient. However, depending on the climate and weather conditions, you may have to take other clothes. One option is to have a waterproof jacket with a detachable liner and a thin jumper or fleece top. This allows you to stay dry and vary the temperature. In winter, a woolly hat. In summer, a baseball cap. This should be easily packable. Apart from hygiene, you need other essential health items, such as glasses if you need them, and any medication. It's also a good idea to have a few elastoplast or band-aids with you. Nowadays, everyone has electronic items, so as well as your mobile phone, you will need to take a power bank, or at the very least, a plug and a charging cable. You will quite probably be sitting around for hours, so you need some sort of entertainment. You don't want to waste the power in your mobile phone playing games, so take a puzzle book or something. And don't forget, you will need pens, more than one. Inside your case, it's a good idea to have some plastic bags to separate wet from dry and clean from dirty. There is no need to contaminate. You will be mixing with many people that you don't know and may not trust. You will need to have cash and credit cards, but keep them safe in a neck or waist pouch that can be hidden under the clothing. Don't forget to include your memory stick with all the documentation you may need later on. Before you leave your home, you will need to find out, do you need to take a sleeping bag or blankets? Do you need to carry plates, cutlery and food containers? Regardless, hope for the best, but prepare for the worst. There are many other items you could take. It's down to you. And remember, the more you have, the more difficult it is to carry and the more difficult it is to look after. "72 hours, 3 days. No electricity, no gas, no water, no heat, nowhere to go. You're stuck in your home." The advice the government puts out is for 72 hours. So we'll look at that as a baseline, bearing in mind that I'm going to look at one person's requirements. These need to be multiplied by the number of people you have in your minor community. Our emergency preparations need to be kept separate so they don't get used by accident. However, the problem with this is that things get forgotten about and go out of date. So rotating your preps is important. One of the big problems in Britain is the fact that most houses are very, very small in comparison with our European neighbours, and storage space is at a premium. Many houses have garages, but they don't house the car. They house the washing machine, the freezer, the tools, and so on and so forth. A good starting point is to have a robust plastic box that's sealable with a lid. Failing this, a good strong cardboard box lined with a thick heavy-duty bin bag or rubble bag makes a good substitute. When the power goes off, the first thing that's going to happen is your fridge and your freezer are going to stop functioning. So eat the perishable food first before it goes off and stinks. With no electricity, supermarkets won't be able to sell anything. Your ATMs won't work, so keep some cash for use in small local shops that might continue for a little while. Without power, petrol pumps won't work, so keep your car at least half full of fuel at all times. Without light, you're going to have problems, so keep some battery, lamps and torches available. Keep enough batteries to last you for 72 hours. No power means no electronic communications, so to keep in touch, you need a radio. A cheap battery-powered radio will work for a long time. Wind-up and solar-powered items, radios, torches and lamps, need sunlight, and won't work in bad weather if you're trying to charge them from inside your house through the glass. Paraffin lamps and candles are also viable, but because they're open flames, they are dangerous, especially with children and animals in the house. So perhaps they're best avoided, because the emergency services in a 72-hour lockdown will be stretched to their limits. No gas means no central heating, no cooking, and no hot water. If there's one of you, you can use your camping stove. If there's a family, a bistro stove might be a better option, because you can cook with larger pots, with tops on of course, and kettles. 72 hours means 9 meals, and you haven't got unlimited gas. You may have your bistro stove or your camping stove, but you need food that you can cook quickly, eat hot or cold, store for a long time with a quick and easy preparation time. This means food in tins and jars, and other things such as oats and crisp bread, along with some quick meals, sauces, flavourings and long life milk. Measuring water before you boil it, whether that's for a single cup or a flask to be used a number of times before you actually put it on the gas, will save time, effort and, more importantly, fuel. The UK government recommends storing between 2.5 and 3 litres of water per person per day for drinking, and a total of 10 litres of water per day for drinking, washing and hygiene. This requires a lot of storage space. It is, however, possible to reduce water requirements in the short term. You can use baby wipes for washing yourself, and you can put on fresh, clean clothes and leave the dirty ones for washing later. As soon as the situation demands, store as much water as you possibly can. Use the bath, any suitable containers and even empty bottles. If you have a water butt, use its water for flushing the toilet. If you have to use sourced water, it must be filtered. You can use a pillowcase or something like that, but it must be disinfected using Steri-Tabs and then boiled. Bleach can be used to sterilise water, but it is dangerous, and it is really a final last resort, and care must be taken. Remember, of all the things that you need, your water is the most important and the most precious in a grid down situation. In a modern house, it's highly unlikely to have a wood-burning stove or a coal fire. So, put on extra clothes and stay in one room to try and preserve as much warmth as you can. If you don't have a secure location that you can reach when the main transport routes are blocked, with enough supplies in place that are in date, forget it. Stay at home. If you think you can bug out to the hills with a Rambo knife and a fire steel and live off the land for as long as you like, forget it. Stay at home. You will live longer. Hopefully. Doing that is the worst of all possible scenarios. Sit tight, do nothing and wait for help from people, often worse off and even less prepared than you are. It is not going to happen. Prepare what you can, when you can, because out is better than nout. Hopefully you'll never need your preps, and because of rotation, they'll become part of an extended larder. Use the time now to get water sterilisation tablets. Using bleach is a last resort and it's dangerous. thank you for watching and hopefully commenting with some extra tips. Stay safe, get prepped, have peace of mind.